where I am now, and I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I'll put up a screenshot. You can see for yourself. Prior to World War II, and I don't want to bring up old wounds, but the Japanese used to control Korea, and while they were losing the battle, losing the war, they started digging in, so to speak, on this particular peninsula. There's evidence of bunkers and all that sort of stuff all around the coastline. But anyway, after the war, Japan was told to hand back Korea to the Koreans, and they couldn't decide whether they wanted to be communist or I guess democracy. So they drew a line across the 38th, I think it was the 38th parallel, and that's how you ended up with North and South Korea. Yeah, interesting place. Lots of local tourists here. Yeah, a lot more populated on this side of the island, a bit more traffic, although it's nothing to worry about. Most times you've got, let's call it your own bike lane, but sometimes you have to share the road, but that's all right. They're very, very courteous drivers, I'll give them that, not like the aggression you find in places like Thailand or Vietnam. And I've had a bit of a tailwind or crosswind at least today, whereas yesterday was just a painful dick drag into a headwind for most of the day. I don't want to sound like a whinger. And that through there is this Jeju World Cup Stadium. And whenever I hear the term World Cup, I guess that's football, yeah, soccer. So they must have held the event or hosted the event here one year. Well, that was a bit of a climb. The trick is to follow this blue line, but sometimes it becomes a little bit indistinguishable. So yeah, if you see that blue line, you're on the right track. We've got some interesting architecture over here. I'm not quite sure what that's about. It says the Museum of African Art. Anyway, the blue line's a bit easier to follow.
In 200 meters, keep right.
A bit of anti-US sentiment going on there. US military, keep out, pretty fine. Well, there's a big cruise ship in town. Between that and the tour buses, obviously this is marked on a lot of people's to-do list, I guess. I don't know, what would there be, 3, 4, 5,000 paying passengers on a boat as big as that? Another certification booth. I missed the last one. I must have blinked. I've come this far. I'm not going past without getting a stamp. I need something to show for my efforts. See these sea walls? I saw a lot of that sort of thing on the east coast of Taiwan, where they must get some pretty serious storm surges and the like. Up until last night I'd covered 854.2 kilometres. Boom. I'll tell you what, if you're planning on coming here, just because you're on an island following the coastline, don't think for a minute that it's completely flat, because you'll come across headland and other times where you've got short, sharp, steep climbs. I'm on a 24 speed mountain bike and I'm currently in my granny gear. Yeah, you still need some level of fitness to do this trip, and I've noticed even a lot of locals walking up some of the hills. I don't ever want to do that because pulling the trailer behind you is a real dick drag. So getting off and walking is the last alternative for me personally.
확인하신 후 동의해주세요. 하단 카메라의 신분증을 하단 카메라의 신분.
English overnight.
Please select stay period and number of guests.
Yeah, one night, one adult, apply.
Please select the room type you wish to use.
Standards, 36,000. That's 36 Australian dollars.
Please proceed with payment after checking the room type details.
Look at that, perfect.
Please add the desired service. If you need to add services, please agree after checking the following.
Yeah, okay. Sign after agreement, please sign. There you go. Confirm.
Please select the adult verification. Please take a picture of your ID with the camera on the bottom. Adult authentication has been. Please enter the customer name. Card payment has been completed. Please retrieve the card. Check-in is complete. Please take the room key and receipt.
So there you go, there's the room number. 724. I could see that taken on in Australia. For 36 Australian dollars, this will do. Perfect. Perfect. I'm having a bit of a late start to today. It's been a bit of rain around. It's going to hang around long enough in the hope that it stops. I'm not sure whether that's happened, but anyway, we'll get underway. Probably be another 50-55 kilometre day, I guess, and I'm considering spending 2 nights at the next spot, only because I've got time to fill in, and secondly I believe there's some things to see and do there, so we might use that as an opportunity to rest and fatten up. All I've got to do now is get out of town and pick up the blue line again. There it is. It's taken me off into a park somewhere. I'll know more soon. Well, yep, I'm on the right track. This headwind is making it a tough grind. It seems that whether I'm travelling north, south, east or west, it's the same headwind. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe it just comes with the island. This is getting to the point where it's no longer enjoyable. I see little benefit in staying, right next to the ocean. So I'll head inland, which is the main road, main arterial road. There's no benefit in riding along here anymore. Plus it follows the coastline, so the distance will be longer. and with this headwind I want to try and keep my day as short as I possibly can. So I'll get on the main arterial road. It will have a bike lane of sorts, and I'll just follow that to the next destination, I think. Well, where I'm staying tonight is only a couple of kilometres up the road, about 6 k's from here, and the ferry terminal is less than a day's ride. Jeju, the city, to town. I'll spend a couple of nights here, I reckon. Leave the island. I'll head for the ferry and catch that late afternoon ferry. There is only one per day, and that's 4:45 p.m. I think. Well, I'm glad that day's over. And where I'm staying is obviously one of the more touristy spots here on Jeju Island. So yeah, I've taken the trouble of booking here for 2 nights. I'll look around tomorrow. $45 a night. And yeah, she's allowed me to park the bike inside the room here, which is a bonus. We'll see, shall we? Well, that was short-lived. I walked in and he said, well, no, kitchen's closed. It's 5:30 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, so anyway, looks like Korean tonight. More evidence of a tunnel network built by the Japanese using Korean labour as a means of trying to, their last line of defence. Pretty extensive network. We're here, and you know, all of these represent a tunnel or a complex of sorts. Yeah, some pretty emotive words being used here. Comparatively detailed records of these 5 ports remain with regard to the Japanese troops stationed there, providing a vivid illustration of the expansionist greed of the Imperial Japan, using Korea as its first sacrifice. I don't know what the feeling is now between South Korea and Japan. I mean, Japan's not far from here. It's only a short boat ride, really. A few hours on a ferry. Yeah, that whole hill was created about 5,000 years ago from, you know, volcanic activity. That's why, I mean, the whole island is pretty much ex-volcano. That's why everything's, you know, the sand's black, lots of black rocks, or lava from what used to be an active volcano, you know, years ago. It's going to be really difficult to see. I'll try and cut and zoom. But yeah, that's the walkway there to the top. It's a bit of a walk. I'm getting an early start for a change, only because I don't really know what to expect today. I've got about, I don't know, 50 kilometres in front of me before I get to the ferry terminal, and I think the ferry's leaving at 4:45 p.m, but yeah, some of the information's pretty vague. I'll get to the ferry terminal and then I guess I'll start making inquiries then. Before I left the terminal, when I first arrived on the island, I did ask the question of several people and I was getting conflicting stories, so I just left there and I hope that things will work out when I get there today. So yeah, if I do catch the 4:45, that means it'll get me back onto the mainland about 9 p.m. this evening. I'll just find a local hotel there somewhere and check in, I guess. So yeah, today following the coastline again, but only when it suits me. If it doesn't suit me, I'll take the shortest possible route. Well, I've hit Jeju, the city. The last hour's been a bit easier. I've been sort of sheltered because I've been a little bit inland away from the coast and it was more of a crosswind than a headwind. I'll make my way to the harbour in the hope that I can get some sense out of somebody to find out exactly when this next ferry's leaving. That is their international ferry terminal. I think it's terminal number 2. That's if you want to go to Japan or whatever. And that's where I was sent to. G'day, how you going? And yeah, I was sent there by this other lady last week. And I got there and they're just scratching their head saying, nah mate, should have stayed where you were. So we'll go back to what I think is terminal 7 where I arrived and we'll see if we can figure something out. G'day mate, you speak English?
English 조금.
I know that ticket sales don't start until an hour and a half or 2 hours before departure, so I won't be able to buy a ticket. I just want to make sure I'm not wasting my time by hanging around the terminal. If I should be somewhere else, that's all. All indications are, departure, Mokpo, 16:45, boarding at 16:10, so all the indications are that I'm on the right track. Unfortunately, all these other riders don't speak English, not that I expect them to. Maybe I'm expected to speak Korean, doesn't matter, we'll get there. I just don't want to book accommodation over there until I've got a ticket. G'day mate, how you going? You speak English? No?
Oh.
Right. That's about the most sensible thing I'll get out of them, I think. G'day mate, how you going? Mokpo? Yes? Alright, I'm glad that's over and I've got the ticket in my hand. I think the rest will be easy from here, catching the bus from Mokpo up to Incheon. So yeah, I'm hoping that'll be straightforward. I'll probably catch that tomorrow if all the ducks line up. Excuse me buddy, can I get past? Yo, thank you.
We're going to open at 4:10.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks.
Very polite.
Thank you. Go in?
계단 이용할 사람들 계단으로도 가세요.
One day?
Yep, tonight.
No booking.
No booking.
One day 10:01.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, mate, 150,000, which is, I don't know, about 55 Australian dollars. And I said, well, about 45 to make up for the electricity blackout a few nights ago. And he said, oh, yeah, okay. Beautiful day today. A bit cool, but that's all right. Last night I was going to ride to a hotel near the bus station. I decided not to do that because it was pretty late. I thought I can afford to kill another day around town, so I'll make my way to the bus station now, just try and confirm exactly what time it leaves tomorrow, and then find a local hotel later on in the day and just take it easy again, I guess. Certainly well rested, there's no denying that, but I am on holiday. Alright, let's see if we can make any sense of this, yeah? I mean, I got this far.
아니야 11 3시 45분도 있다.
I'll tell you, thank goodness for Google Translate with that camera function, because otherwise you'd be screwed, I think. Yeah, the desk wasn't manned. Ticket seller booth. Anyway, I got the ticket. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to catch the 9:40 tomorrow. It'll be a comfortable trip, 4.5 hours, I believe. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to pull up, but it won't matter even if I've got to find a local hotel. So yeah, tomorrow another easy day, going from south to north across the extent of the country. Too early to check into a hotel here now, so I'll find a cafe somewhere and just kill some time. Once again, beautiful day, stunning. Right, just making my way to the bus station, which is only just around the corner. So yeah, it should be a pretty easy day, another easy day today. Very comfortable bus trip for 4.5 hours, and just watch the world go by. So yeah, next destination will be Incheon, which is, yeah, just outside of Seoul. Should get there mid-afternoon, I think. Yeah, I just break the whole thing down. Only takes a couple of minutes. Just makes it easier to load on and off the bus, rather than try and leave the bag in the trailer and move that mass. It's just a lot easier to throw the things on individually. But yeah, the bus could be quite busy, so storage could be an issue, but we'll figure it out. Where I expected to arrive, so that's good. It means I've only got about a 6 or 7 kilometre cycle now to get to the hotel, so I'll be there within the hour. I've never had a bus trip I never enjoyed, and that one was as good as they get. Well, I don't know how I feel about being in the big smoke again. and this is the big smoke. Yeah, it's going to be a bit chaotic, I think. But anyway, yeah, I've just booked the hotel online. I didn't want to do that until I actually hit the ground here because I wasn't quite sure where I was going to end up, and if I was going to be miles from home, so to speak, I would have just booked a local hotel for the night. But I'll go back to the one that I was originally in, the Gold Coast Hotel it's called. As I said before, it's only 6 or 7 kilometres to get there, and check-in isn't until 3 p.m. anyway, so a leisurely ride to get there. Right, back to where it all began. I'm just going down to their car park where I used to secure the bike, only because weeks ago when I left the bike box here, so I didn't have to go and source one, and it's still here thankfully. It's just one less thing I've got to worry about, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's exactly where I left it, all folded up. That's good, I'll be able to reuse that to get out of here. Well, I'm just on my way to see a dentist. A couple of years ago in Australia, I lost a tooth, and I ended up getting an implant put in. I had to sell a kidney to be able to afford it, and my dentist keeps reminding me that dentistry in Australia is bloody expensive, and she's right. But anyway, when I first got here, I made arrangements to see a dentist, and they agreed to fit the tooth for me. And it's probably about half the cost that it would be in Australia. So, I mean, I can't sell the other kidney to pay for it, but I'm certainly comfortable getting it fitted here. Would I go overseas just to get dental work done? Well, no, but I'm going to take advantage of it while I'm here. And a couple of years ago when I was in the Philippines, I ended up having a crown fitted, which was about a third of the cost that it would have cost me in Australia. So I don't think my dentist is going to be very happy when she sees me next. She'll know I've been seeing another woman. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, my guess is that tooth will outlast me. I'm not sorry I got it done. But, as I said before, dentistry in Australia is bloody expensive. I fly out tomorrow. I'm just on my way to go to a car wash. I'm going to pressure clean the bike. Australian border control, you know, because I've been out in rural areas of South Korea, and I've got to declare that. They might want to inspect the bike and my footwear. Now I know the requirements. Yeah, I'll go and pressure clean the bike, and then later on today start boxing it up. The box is still there from when I left a few weeks ago. I'll pull the bike to bits, and the trailer of course, and then start packing up ready for departure tomorrow.
Oh, Airport 1.
Terminal 1, yes, please. And I thought Singapore's airport was big. This place is huge. It's a city on its own. Well, I've checked in all my luggage, including, of course, the oversized bike box. So all that leaves now is to board one of 3 aircraft to get me back to Perth in Western Australia. I've been in country for about just under a month, 28 days. And I've only covered just over 1,000 kilometres, so as you can tell, it's not been an intense journey. It's been great to explore the country. I mean, they certainly cater well for cyclists and cycle tourists. There's a lot of infrastructure provided to make for a pretty seamless journey. The weather's been kind to me. I've got a bit of rain on a couple of days, but nothing that impacted on the journey, you know what I mean? It's their autumn at the moment, so you've got to expect a bit of rain, I guess. Catching buses and ferries created a bit of anxiety, a bit of stress, primarily because of the language barrier. Although using Google Translate, that makes it certainly a lot easier. I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker, but yeah, some of these places are unmanned. They've just got vending machines, so yeah, take a bit of getting used to. And all in all, a great holiday, and if you're a cycle tourist, you might want to put it on your list. But look, anyway, if this is the final approach, you know what that means? See you on the other side.